The show is a collection of stories from my childhood from birth to 18. And so it starts on Good Friday, the day I was born, that evening, under a full moon. And it ends as I'm about to go to college, leave home basically on my own. And I'm there seeing my grandparents under El Gran Mesquite. So it's stories in that time period. You know, somebody asked my mom after the show, it's like, where does he remember all these stories and stuff? And she said, well, he writes, he journals and stuff. And so I have 60 some journals in my life.
When did you start journaling?
I wrote the very first one. It was June 14th, 1976.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. It was in the summer migrant program at St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. And I was there for 10 weeks where I would go to school for half a day and work at a daycare for half a day. And I was getting paid for both. And so my family was in Illinois working in the fields. And one of the classes was an English class. And they gave us a journal. And we were supposed to write at least a paragraph in each day. Well, the day it started happened to be my cousin Mishi, Melissa. She's my age. It was her birthday. And so I remember that I started writing on her birthday because one of the first things I say is happy birthday, Melissa. You know, she turned, 15 that day and stuff. And so so that was my very first journal. I heard friends and people who have seen the show talk about how they felt like they met my entire family and that they would have loved to sort of like been raised in this magic land, where yes, you have the ups and downs, but yet there's this wonderful community and unity. And I think that's a part that's that a child really needs in order to grow up and feel loved and feel secure and feel nurtured. And I think that's the essence that my show seems to portray or convey to people in the audience. That's like, I want a piece of that.
Do you remember what your first story was? What story you first wrote and the experience of writing the first story?
Yeah, I think it was a story called Yeah. And it was just
that was the first one?
That was the first one, I
awesome.
believe. Because it was a simple 15, 20-minute exercise, and I just wrote it, and I ended up using it almost verbatim. What was on my journal, and I still have it, was actually what I ended up, using and sharing with the California Men's Gathering at their talent show, in front of 300 men, and it really connected with them and stuff. And then I've ended up, just editing it just a little bit for the show, because I didn't have to say everything since I was acting it out. But that was I believe the first one that I wrote that started, that triggered. It's like, hey, maybe there is something here.